So I just received this Ledger Nano S. It's gonna be pretty much the same as the other ones, just this one has a little different color, so I didn't order it black this time. And the first thing you have to check is, of course, to see that the package is in a good condition. Also make sure that you bought it from an authorized dealer or distributor, and it's better if you order it straight from the Ledger site, but some distributors are also or can be trusted. So I'm gonna be explaining you how to set it up. So let's see what we have here. So first thing, we have our Ledger in its box. We just took the plastic, and now always make sure to see that it doesn't look like it has been opened before. I'm gonna put this aside so we can have some more space to see what's inside the box. So the first thing you're gonna see is the Ledger. And as I said, I didn't order it in black. This time I ordered a transparent color, so it's a little different. It's actually very interesting because you can kind of see the whole thing inside, like at least the board, and it's quite interesting. So we're gonna put this aside, and it should come with a manual. Let's see what else do we have here. So you have your cable, some sort of little thing to carry it on your neck in case for some reason you want to do that, or in case you want to put it as a keychain. You have a ring. And here is the important stuff. So as you can see here, there is no anti-tampering sticker. This is something that used to be in the Ledgers before. They usually, in the past, they had some sort of seals or holograms. And now in these models, or in these generations, they're not having this because they are having a software-based anti-tampering mechanism. So you don't have to worry about that, but still always make sure that the box was not open. Okay, so we're getting started. This is the first thing you're gonna need. This is very important. This is your recovery sheet, and in here you're gonna write 24 words that are gonna be given to you by the device. This will be a backup, or it will store the, let's say, identity of the wallet that you're using. So if for some reason you lost this device, or things happen, this could fall into water or whatever, you just if you keep this recovery phrase, you can order another one and just back it up with this phrase that you're gonna be writing here. And also you can do a second copy. There is some people who like to have a Ledger in a safe, and then they carry around the other one, and they have two copies with the same phrase. And you have two, or actually three papers where you can write these 24 words. It is recommended that you store them in different places. So in case if, let's say, for some reason your place burns or it gets water damage or something, you won't be losing your funds because you have it stored in other places. And of course, safe places. You don't want anybody to access this, because if somebody accesses it, they will have access to all your funds. They pretty much own it just by having these words. And don't make that mistake that some people do, that they write a part of the words, like, okay, we have 24, so let's say you write 8 words in this one, 8 words in this one, 8 words in this one, and then you store them in 3 different places. There's a lot of people who do this, and what you're doing is exponentially decreasing the security of the seed phrase or the recovery phrase. So don't do this. You want your 24 words, which provides the highest security, and you want to store them or hide them or put them in a very safe place. Okay, so let's actually leave one of these outside because we're going to be using it later. I'm not gonna be using this cable right now because I'm just gonna use the cable from my other ledgers. Okay, so now we're gonna be connecting the ledger for the first time. So let's see, let's start it. So the first thing that you're gonna notice is that there is two buttons, and you're gonna be using these two buttons for everything. You're gonna be either writing words, entering numbers, or authorizing transactions, everything with these two buttons. So we're gonna press them to start. And it's explaining here that you use these two buttons to interact and control the user interface. Okay, so now we have the option to configure it as a new device. This is in case you want to create new wallets and get your new words for starting everything from scratch. And the second option is that you can restore a configuration. That's, as I said before, in case you wanted to have it as a second copy of another ledger that you have, or you're restoring one that maybe you lost or it stopped working or got damaged. So in case you were going to restore a configuration, what it's going to ask for you is to write the words that you will have already written from the other ledger or from another wallet that uses the same system of 24 words recovery. Actually, you can use different number of words to recover different ledgers, but in this case, we're not going to restore the configuration. We're just going to configure it as a new device. So the first thing it's going to ask is a PIN. So we need to make a PIN that it's only for unlocking the device, so it can be accessed by the computer when you are signing a transaction. So you're gonna write the PIN with these two buttons again. You go down with this one and you go up with this one. So if you want to start with 1 or let's say 2, then you press 2 buttons and then you choose the next one, 1, and then say 1 to 5, again 2 buttons. So this is how you will set your PIN. I'm setting a very easy PIN because anyway this is just a demo, but make sure that you set up a decent PIN, not like me 1 2 3 4 5 or something. So as you can see here, now it's asking you to write down your recovery phrase. That's the phrase that I was showing you that you write in this recovery sheet. So it's 24 words, and we're gonna start with the first word is a poll. So you're gonna write it here. I'm gonna be writing them on somewhere else because it's just a test. So the first one is poll. The second one is I. The third one is autumn. So after you wrote down your recovery phrase in a safe place, it's gonna ask you to confirm the recovery phrase just to make sure that you wrote it correctly. So the word number 1, it's gonna be, could be priority, step, so you have to look for it. And it's, as we wrote, it was poll. So here we have poll. Word number 2 was I. Word number 3 was autumn. And we will go like this all the way until the 24th word. So now we're going to connect our ledger and install some apps so we can use it for the first time with the Ledger Manager. This is how the Ledger Manager interface looks. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our ledger and we're gonna enter our PIN, which in this test is gonna be 1 2. And now we're gonna go to the platform. You see that the first thing you need to do is to connect and unlock your Ledger device. We just did that, so it should not be a problem. So now the device is gonna ask us if we authorize the computer to access the ledger. So as you can see here, you're gonna allow. It's gonna take a couple minutes. And we're in. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna install some apps. I am assuming that you're gonna want to have a Bitcoin wallet or the Bitcoin app installed in your Ledger. So we just installed the Bitcoin wallet or the Bitcoin app. And if you go to the Ledger, you can see here that it already shows. And we're gonna install one more. We're gonna install Ethereum. And now, as you can see here in the Ledger, we already have Bitcoin and Ethereum. So now we can create accounts in the Ledger Manager. This is how you access the wallet. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is when I go to accounts, we're gonna create an account, in this case for Bitcoin. So we're gonna choose Bitcoin. And then we're gonna go to the Bitcoin app in the device that we just installed. So we're gonna access it. And now it's gonna tell us to go to the wallet or to the Ledger Manager in this case. And right now it's checking if there are any accounts linked to this address or to this phrase that your device is synced to. And since there is none, we're gonna add a new account and we can call it Bitcoin test. We're gonna create this account and we already made it. So you can add more if you want. But now we're gonna create a account for Ethereum. And once again, now it's gonna ask us to go to the Ethereum app in the Ledger and authorize. So we were in the Bitcoin, we're gonna exit. And now we're gonna go to Ethereum app, we're gonna access it. And once again, it's gonna allow the computer to access the Ledger on the Ethereum app. And now we're gonna create the account. It's once again looking for any information in the blockchain in case there are accounts already existing that are linked to this ledger, but there's not going to be anything because this is just a test. And we're going to create this account and call it Ethereum test. So let's make it. And we're good for now. As you can see, there are other options of cryptocurrencies that you can install in your ledger and you can create accounts on them in case you want to hold these cryptocurrencies. So we're going to go first to the Bitcoin account. And as you can see here, this is pretty much all you need to start receiving cryptocurrencies. So we're going to go to the Bitcoin app again. And we're basically unlocking the wallet. So now we need to verify that the address in the device is the same as the one in the computer, just to make sure that we're not having any compromise in the device. So you can see here, this is gonna be our address to receive funds. So we can start depositing immediately on this address, but we want to make sure that this address that we're having, because usually we're gonna get the information of our address from the computer, and let's say for some reason the address is not correct in the computer, we're gonna be sending the funds to somebody else or to some other address, and we will of course lose them. So just to make sure that we have the right address in the computer, we're gonna confirm it with the address that we can see here. And as you can see here, it's gonna show us the address. You can compare it to the one on the screen. And if it's correct, then you're gonna authorize it. So now we have the address verified and we can know that this is our Bitcoin address. We can later on use this address to check on the blockchain, which is public, and you can use any blockchain explorer to check the transactions. But basically, this is the address to which you are gonna be sending funds in order to store in the ledger. And you can copy it here in case you need to copy paste it somewhere else. And it's pretty much the same with Ethereum. If you want to receive some funds, You're once again gonna go to the Ethereum app. And you want to verify that you have the address correctly. So here you have the address, and you want to compare it with the one that you have here. If everything matches, then you're gonna click and verify that it's the same one. And you just created an Ethereum address, or you just created an account that will allow you to deposit Ethereum on this address. In case later on you want to verify, or for some reason some time has passed, or you feel like you don't trust your computer and you want to re-verify that this is actually your address, then you can just click here and re-verify, and you will compare with the address that it was generated in your ledger. Now I'm gonna delete these addresses. And something to take into account, or something that you shouldn't worry about, is that if you want to delete an account, this is not going to affect the coins, because at the end of the day, the cryptocurrencies are in the blockchain and they are not in the account, they're not in your computer, and they're definitely not inside your device. So the device is only for signing and storing private keys. So you can delete and add as many accounts as you want. It won't affect your currencies. You're not deleting the coins. There, as you can see, this will not affect your crypto assets. So we're gonna delete as this was just a test.